Badminton, a popular sport worldwide, is not only a game of health, but also an art that regulates flexibility and concentration. It requires sophistication in hitting technique and speed in movement, creating a stimulating competitive environment. In every match, badminton rackets play an important role as an indispensable part. It is from the combination of technology and art that badminton racket manufacturers have created products with high precision, helping players optimize performance and feeling while playing. Are you curious about the badminton racket mass production line? In this video, join me in exploring the mass production process of badminton rackets. Today, badminton rackets are mainly made of carbon to increase stiffness as well as ensure the lightness and durability of the racket frame. Thin carbon sheets are folded according to the size of the racket frame. To prepare for the most accurate racket molding process, these carbon plates will undergo a pressing process in a frame that has the same shape as the racket. This process does not have to be precise or highly technical. They will then be connected to the racket handle. I call these raw racket frames. Casting molds are thick and sturdy metal plates. Before casting, it needs to be cleaned thoroughly to ensure that there will be no impurities mixed into the mold. The raw racket frames are then precisely pressed into the mold by this worker and guaranteed not to deviate from the mold groove. The racket molding process takes place extremely quickly, especially under the effect of high temperature. In just a few seconds, from combining the pressed carbon sheet with the racket handle, a strong and sturdy racket frame is created. However, during this process, many leftovers often appear. These excesses are the result of the rapid and unavoidable molding process. However, to ensure the quality and performance of the final product, these residues are often carefully removed and disposed of. Through post-molding processing steps such as cutting, grinding, and finishing, excess parts are precisely and effectively removed, thereby creating rackets with perfect shapes, which I call racket frames rough. Once the rough racket frame is completed, it will be sent to the string hole drilling machine to create the holes necessary for the process of assembling the string onto the racket. To ensure maximum accuracy and efficiency, this job is often performed automatically by machines with up to 100% accuracy. The drills are programmed to perform drilling cycles with absolute precision, thereby ensuring that each racket has holes placed in the perfect position and size. You see the rackets being painted, right? At this point, it is not complete yet. This is just a round of painting to make rechecking the racket frame more accurate and making it easier to find errors. These workers are performing the important and meticulous job of re-inspecting the racket frames. During this process, workers will check every detail of the racket frame from the edges to the bores to ensure that no errors are present. The painting process is an indispensable step in the production of badminton rackets, not only to increase aesthetics, but also to protect and enhance the durability of the product. Painting not only makes the racket more beautiful, but also helps protect the surface from external influences such as moisture, dirt, and scratches. After painting is completed, the racket frame is affixed with a number of stamps to add highlights as well as show the parameters and technology contained in the racket. The stamps often contain important information such as the brand name, model of the racket, weight, hardness, and special technologies used in the product. Stamping not only makes the racket more professional, but also helps users easily recognize and better understand the product they are using. For workers, stamping requires concentration and meticulous working skills. They must ensure that the stamp is applied in a straight line and not misaligned, thereby creating a finished and professional look to the final product. This genetic machine is an important part in the process of assembling and perfecting badminton rackets. Closing the mesh string protection gene into the racket holes helps the net after tensioning to be more durable and creates sturdiness and uniformity in the structure of the racket. It seems very simple, but this job requires you to be very quick and accurate. This process is an important step in perfecting the handle of a badminton racket. The racket handle is usually made from wood to provide the necessary hardness and stability during use. However, to increase comfort and convenience for the user, a lining is often wrapped around the handle of the racket. This lining is usually made from rubber, a material with anti-slip and good sweat-absorbing properties. And finally, there is the most stringent testing step to decide whether the racket is qualified to be exported to the market or not. With many major racket brands, when you buy a new racket, there is usually only the racket frame without the pre-strung net. To be able to use your racket, you need to find a reputable place to string the net for your racket. This can be done at shops that provide professional net tensioning services or shops that provide badminton racket repair and maintenance services. The professional staff here will have the skills and experience to correctly string the net for your racket and advise on the tension and type of string suitable for your playing style and playing time.